So it's Friday, which means it's time for 5-Tip Friday. And today's 5-Tip Friday is inspired by my life, which I'll tell you the topic. It is what to do when your life is a hot mess. If you are in my life in some capacity, whether you're my client, my friend, my family, someone who knows me, you know that this year has been very challenging for me. And for my husband, it has just felt like one thing after the other. And I proudly make the statement that my life is a hot mess right now, and I'm doing what I can with what I got. And that is all that I can do. So I wanted to talk about this because I'm sure I'm not the only one feeling like, holy shit, my life feels out of control and like a hot mess. So let's just get into it. Tip number 1 is don't isolate yourself. So I think when you have a lot going on and it's for a sustained period of time, at least for me, I've felt like a burden sometimes because I'm always that friend like, hey, how are you? Oh my God, listen to this. You know, it's always something going on in my life, at least this year. So I've gotten in my head a couple times feeling like maybe I'm a burden to my friends and I want to, not be the one with something going on all the time. And so I encourage you to challenge that and really give the people in your life the opportunity to show up for you and support you and love you when you need it. Because if you're not allowing them to come in, then they don't have that opportunity to show you and to show up for you. So I think that that's really the first tip that from my own experience that I wanted to share. Tip number 2 is to process in real time to relieve the feeling of being overwhelmed. I think when you have back-to-back a lot of situations in life that are happening and it feels like it's just one thing after the other, after the other, after the other, it can be really easy to get stuck in feeling overwhelmed and just flooded. And so it's really important that you process in real time, whether that's with a friend, a therapist, journaling, a life coach, whatever that looks like. It's just really important that you're processing in real time so that it doesn't accumulate and add up and be too much to process all at once, because that would be a lot for anyone. Tip number 3 is remember that everything is temporary. I love this one because I think when you, again, have a lot of shit happen in a long period of time and it feels like you can't come up for fresh air and it's just like one thing after the other. I know I keep saying that, but that's what it really feels like. It can be really easy to get stuck in that place and be like, oh, well, this is it. Like, this is how life is going to be forever. And, I just have to get used to my life being like this. No, we cannot subscribe to that way of thinking. Everything is temporary. Things change all the time. Things can go downhill which means that they can go uphill just as quickly. So just really be open to having that flexible mindset of just being open to receive whatever is coming your way, whether that's good or whether that's another hot mess moment. Tip number 4 is, of course, self-care. Whatever that looks like for you. For me, that has been a lot of resting. That has been a lot of baths with one hand up in the air. Just whatever that looks like. We're not aiming for your best. We're not aiming for perfection. If you just have to, the goal is to just get by, to just do good enough to make things feel okay and doable. And that's all that you can do when you're in a season of life like this. So the second piece to this is to ask for help. I think some people, myself included, sometimes have a difficult time asking for help and, saying like, I can't handle all of this on my own. That means nothing about you. That just means that you're human and humans need help sometimes. And so be sure to ask for what you need and to set boundaries in situations where it's something that maybe you don't need. That's like a huge piece to all of this. And the last one I think is maybe the most important, or maybe the one that I've just really been leaning into lately, which is laugh. Obviously, when this happened and when all the things happened this year, it's been sad. I've cried. I've been overwhelmed. But I think with this especially, like, you have to just laugh. You have to laugh about your life. And I think that laughter brings a lot of light into your life and into the situation. I read somewhere that humans are actually the only living species that have the ability to laugh, which that was like very profound for me to read. I don't know why, but ever since reading that, I've just really been more aware of laughter and the impact that that has on my day. And even if you're having the hardest day of your life, but you still can find a moment to laugh or crack a smile, I think that that just shows you, and that's all I need to be like, okay, I'm still here and we're gonna make it, you know? So try to laugh as much as you can, be super intentional about who you are surrounding yourself with, and just hang in there, be safe. Don't put your hand in dogs' mouths and get your finger chopped off. It's life, you know? I'm learning so many things, and I'm growing as a human being because of it. So I love you all. Please be safe, and I will see you next week, hopefully with no more injuries. Love you guys.